This video is going to look at how to write and graph inequalities, and it aligns with your inequality notes packet. We're going to start out right on the first page, which is labeled page A in the bottom right hand corner. So to start off, we're going to talk about what an inequality is, and they look very similar to equations. The difference is instead of an equal sign, you're going to have an inequality symbol. At the very top of your paper, you have a spot that says an inequality is, and there's two blank lines. Please take a moment and fill in a mathematical sentence that contains less than, greater than, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. When we're looking at inequalities, we're going to start out by taking a sentence and translating it into an inequality. And in order to do that, you guys need to know keywords for each of these symbols. So on that front page as well, you have a big table. I'd like you to fill in your keywords for each symbol in the table. You could pause the video, and then when you're ready, you're going to go ahead and press play, and we'll do some practice. In the table here, you're going to see some of them are listed in green. Those are the ones that tend to mess us up the most, so in your notes, please put a little star next to those so that we pay extra attention to them. Okay, so now that you have your keywords written down, in our pink packet, we're going to flip to the back of the first page. It's labeled page B in the bottom right-hand corner. And on that page, you are given several sentences, and you're asked to make each of those sentences into an inequality. So our first sentence is the number of students exceeds 120. What I'm going to look for first are my keywords that I would have found in that table. And what's jumping out to me is exceeds. And I know exceeds goes with the symbol greater than. So I'm going to have something is greater than 120. This something, the number of students, can be represented with a variable such as s. So my inequality would be x is greater than 120. Number 2, there are fewer than 12 cars in the parking lot. So my key word there would be fewer than. And fewer than goes with the inequality symbol less than. There are less than 12 cars in the parking lot. So I'm going to use a variable to represent the number of cars, that's C, less than 12. Next up, number 3, Jim scored no less than a 75 on his science quiz. So if I look for my keywords, I see no less than. No less than goes with the symbol greater than or equal to. So Jim scored greater than or equal to a 75. So I take a variable x to represent his score is greater than or equal to 75. Number 4, Jennifer can purchase at most 4 shirts with her money. At most, so the maximum number of shirts she could buy is 4. So that goes with less than or equal to. So I pick a variable for the number of shirts she could buy, less than or equal to 4. Number 5. Now number 5 is a little tricky. 8 more than twice a number is no less than 12. If you look, you have a bunch of keywords. You have more than, you also have no less than. So when we're dealing with inequalities, in order to find the phrase that's going to give us our symbol, I want you to look for the word is. And next to the word is will be your phrase, no less than. That's my symbol, which means the phrase more than is going to be an operation, addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. So in this case, it would be addition. So this will become 8 plus twice a number, 2n, is no less than. No less than goes with greater than or equal to, and 12 goes on the other side. At this time, I'd like you to pause the video. On page B, I want you to try 6 through 10 on your own. And then when you're ready, you're going to press play, and I will give you the correct answers. So, number 6, and keep in mind you could use any variable, it doesn't matter. Number 6, n minus 17 is greater than or equal to 22. Number 7, n divided by 3 is greater than or equal to 12. Number 8, 6x or 6n minus 4 is greater than 20. Number 9, n divided by 2 minus 9 is less than or equal to 12. And number 10, n minus 14 is greater than or equal to 5. That's going to bring us to page C in our packets. And the important thing about inequalities to recognize is that when you had an equation, there was only one correct answer to every problem. With an inequality, there is a set of correct answers. So, at the very top of page C, it says if the answer to a problem is x is less than 4, what does this mean? This means that x could be 3, it could be 2, it could be 1, it could be 0, it could be negative 1, so on and so forth. Any value that's less than 4. If the answer to an inequality problem is x is is greater than negative 7, I have to think what numbers are greater than negative 7. So if I was looking at a number line, I'd look to the right. Negative 6, negative 5, negative 4, all the way up through my positive numbers, and I could keep going and going. The next one on your paper, x is greater than or equal to, this should actually be negative. Now in this case, it has an equal to bar, which means the number negative 5 itself is an answer, as well as anything greater than negative 5. So negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, all the way up through my positive numbers. Since our inequalities have multiple solutions, you're going to often be asked to show your answer in a visual way using a number line. So, in the middle of page C, you guys have boxes. I'd like you to pause the video, fill in these boxes. This is describing how we're going to make our number lines. And then when you're ready, press play, and we'll do some examples together. Alright, so example 1, x is less than 2. Now, we talked about the meaning of inequality. So if x is less than 2, the answer is 1, 0, negative 1, negative 2, so on and so forth. So we're going to keep our number line short and sweet. The number that is in the inequality itself is going to go in the center, and I'm going to put a circle above it. Less than 2. The numbers that are less than 2 go to the left. So I'm going to draw an arrow to the left. And that is my graph. Okay. In your next example, x is less than or equal to 15. Now because I have that equal to bar, 15 is a solution. So I'm going to draw a circle, but this time, because it's equal to, I'm going to color that circle in. Less than goes to the left, so I still draw my arrow to the left. This next one, example 3, x is greater than or equal to 7. So I'm going to draw a circle. Because it's equal to, I color the circle in. Greater than is the bigger numbers, those are to the right. I'm going to draw my arrow to the right. At this time, I'm going to ask you to fill in these 3 inequalities. Pause the video, try making the number lines on your own, and then press play when you're ready to check your work. Alright, so for greater than negative 10, we have an open circle, and your arrow goes to the right. X is less than or equal to 50. It's also equal to 50, so you're coloring that circle in, and we're going to the left. X is greater than or equal to 52. We're coloring the circle in because it's equal to, and we go to the right. That finishes up how to write inequalities and also how to graph inequalities.